Hello and welcome to the news this week, your one-stop source for the latest happenings in the alcobev and hospitality industry. I am Shalini Kumar and I am here with you today with the latest updates on policy and regulatory issues, national and international developments and new launches and more. Before I set out to give you the whole lot of major stories, let me share some top headlines. Vijay Mallya sentenced to jail term. Hearing on Punjab's excise policy postponed. Feni to be produced in Kerala. Gwala closures acquires Labyrinta. Battle of Mixers at the Monin Cup 2022. Now, news in detail. In the first 100 days of the second tenure of Yogi Adityanath-led Uttar Pradesh government, 3 new distilleries, 3 microbreweries and 10 resto bars were set up in the state. The Minister of State for Excise of UP, Nitin Agrawal, informed that a 100-day action plan was prepared by the State Excise Department, under which permission to set up 3 new distilleries were given. The setting up of these distilleries will lead to an investment of 793.37 crore rupees and create about 3,600 new employment opportunities. The Supreme Court of India has sentenced liquor baron Vijay Mallya to 4 months jail term and a fine of 2,000 rupees for a 2017 contempt of court charge. A plea by a consortium of banks led by the State Bank of India sought contempt action and a direction to Mallya to deposit $40 million received from offshore firm Diageo. Banks had alleged that Mallya concealed the facts and diverted the money to his son Siddharth Mallya and daughters Liana Mallya and Tanya Mallya in flagrant violation of the orders passed by the Karnataka High Court. The Supreme Court of India underlined that we have said in the judgment of 2017 that the action of the contemnor in disbursing 40 million USD was contempt. We must impose adequate sentences on the contemnor to uphold the majesty of law. The country liquor supplying licenses in Delhi have been allowed to be extended by a month by the Delhi government. For the extension, the license holders will be required to pay a pro-rate license fee for a month. However, any person holding such non-renewable license shall not be under any obligation to accept such an offer to extend its license. As the Punjab government did not file its response to the petition challenging the Punjab's excise policy for 2022-23 on 6 July, the Punjab and Haryana court has now fixed the hearing for 20th July. Some of the grounds for challenging Punjab's new excise policy is that it would create a monopoly in liquor trade in Punjab. It has also been alleged that as per the excise policy of Punjab for the 2022-23, liquor contractors having L2 retail vends are barred from participating in the allotment procedure of L1 wholesale vend. A government order has stated that the central government has expanded the excise duty exemption for biofuels to promote the blending of higher proportions of ethanol and components of vegetable oil with gasoline and diesel. According to government order, the taxation department will apply to an ethanol portion of 12% to 15% blended with gasoline, up from 10% formerly. Further, the exemption for diesel will apply to a 20% portion of alkyl esters of long chain fatty acids acquired from vegetable oil. Liquor lovers in Delhi are facing shortage of some premium category whiskies as they are not available in below 1 liter quantity at various outlets. The reasons for the shortage are attributed to the new liquor policy, which has led to a sharp decline in the number of wine shops operating in Delhi and also of the supply chain problem. Currently, on 464 shops are in operation in the national capital, whereas a city like Delhi must have around 850 outlets to serve the residents. Even some posh areas like Connaught Place, Saket and Green Park hardly have any shop there. The situation was worsened by the surrender of around 11 to 12 licensees of the total 32 zones in the national capital, as a result of which these zones are without any liquor shops now. Delhi is also facing a shortage of beer. Delhi gets its supplies from Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and other states. But Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh have stopped the supply in view of catering to their own domestic needs first. One peeved liquor consumer had knocked the doors of the Delhi High Court seeking relief over the lack of stock of popular liquor brands such as Royal Stag in the national capital. The High Court refused to entertain his plea. Justice Yashwant Verma warned of imposing a cost to the petitioner, who is a habitual litigant approaching the court for petty issues. The court said it has nothing to do with the plea, as the popularity of a brand is a subjective concept and not something for the courts to adjudicate. The petitioner withdrew the plea. We all should respect the time of our courts and should not file frivolous petitions. Now it's time for break. Stay tuned.
Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop, lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach. I just do what comes natural.
Sterling Reserve, come alive.
Welcome back, and let's look at some major industry updates from around the world. Japanese shochu can now be legally sold under its category name in New York through beer and wine retailers after a new bill is signed. New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed Assembly Bill A8620 into law. The amendment to the Beverage Control Act will allow Japanese shochu with an ABV of 24% or under to be sold through retailers with a beer and wine license in the state. FIFA World Cup fans are being warned of strict alcohol restrictions during the football tournament in Qatar this year, with only beer sales permitted outside stadiums at certain times. FIFA and Qatar organizers are still working on plans to serve all fans who want to drink at the games when the tournament starts in November in the Muslim majority country. The favored option is serving beer with alcohol in stadium compounds before and after games and allowing fans to take non-alcoholic Budweiser Zero to their seats. A cooperative bank in Kannur in Kerala has finally managed to procure the license to produce the famed Feni, which is expected to also give a boost to Kerala tourism. The Payavur Cooperative Bank has submitted a detailed project report to the government and is planning to start production by December. The Kerala State Beverages Corporation will buy the drink at a price that would be reasonably profitable for both the farmers and workers. A cask of rare Scotch whisky has set a new world record after selling for £16 million to a private collector in Asia. The single malt dates to November 1975 and smashed the previous record of £1 million set in April this year. Known as cask number 3, the whisky was produced at the 207-year-old Ardbeg distillery on the Scottish island of Islay. It sold for more than twice the amount the distillery and its entire stock was bought for in 1997. The distillery will draw around 88 bottles of whisky from the cask in each of the next 5 years and deliver them to the buyer. That's about 36,000 per bottle. In an important strategic step for the company, Gwala Closures has acquired the 30 million euros business Labrenta. Gwala, a global producer of closures for wines, spirits, beverages, and oil bottles, announced that it has reached an agreement to acquire Labrenta, which specializes in high-end tailor-made closures. The acquisition is expected to enable Gwala to grab a bigger slice of the fast-growing luxury sector. There will be the Battle of the Mixologists at the Monin Cup 2022. This year's edition is on the theme Sharing Memorable Moments, where the participants are expected to use their creativity, skill, passion, and inventiveness to develop a memorable cocktail moment. Participants will have the opportunity to compete on a global level as finalists from different countries will compete in the international grand finale for the coveted trophy in France at the end of 2022. The Monin Cup 2022, which commenced on 12th July, is being conducted across key cities including Bangalore, Mumbai, and finals will be held in New Delhi on 3rd of August. Carlsberg, Sweden has created an underwater bar at the bottom of the sea to remind Swedes to abstain from alcohol when sailing. The full-size underwater bar measures 3.5 meters in width and 2.5 meters in height and comes complete with bar counter, bar stools, neon signs, beer cooler and taps. During the week, there is a great opportunity for holidays to visit the underwater bar, which has been sunk outside the seafood restaurant Gosta's Fish and Smogen's Fish Auction. Now we are slipping into a break. Stay tuned.
OC Glue. Taste the thrill.
Welcome back. And now I am moving on to some new launches. Pernod Ricard Global Travel Retail has launched 7 ultra-rare single cask editions from Secret Speyside, available exclusively in Global Travel Retail. The outstanding new series is made up of 7 exclusive expressions aged between 21 and 27 years and coming from 4 of the most revered and elusive distilleries in the renowned Speyside region. These include the vanished distillery of Caperdonick, the pioneering Longmont distillery, the landmark Glenkeith distillery, and the remote braes of the Glenlivet distillery. Secret Speyside single cask releases will be available for purchase at individual RRPs exclusively across key duty-free partners. Diageo has joined hands with coconut water player the Vita Coco Company to come up with Vita Coco Captain Morgan canned cocktails with an interesting range of flavors of strawberry daiquiri, pina colada, and lime mojito. The cocktails with 5% ABV have Captain Morgan Caribbean White Rum as the base spirit, and they are presented in a 12-ounce can. Their sale will begin in the beginning of 2023 for around $14.99 US. Leading Hong Kong importer Milestone Beverages has announced plans to relaunch Blowfish Australian wine with an all-new design. Blowfish is Milestone's firstborn brand, created by the founder and managing director Joe Milner, with the aim of taking the seriousness out of the wine. The importer plans to rebrand Blowfish Australian wines to feel more spontaneous and unconventional. The range will continue to offer 4 wines: Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, and Rosé. India's premier and largest smoothie chain brand, Drunken Monkey, has announced its expansion into the overseas market. In the coming months, the company will launch its first ever international outlets in the United States, which is considered one of the biggest markets for smoothies in the world, and it single-handedly accounts for over 35% of the global smoothie market share. Founded in 2016 by Samrat Reddy, Drunken Monkey is the only Indian smoothie brand with a pan-country presence. Headquartered in Hyderabad, the brand has grown exponentially since its launch, and the consistent success and growth of the brand can be gauged from its growth from 4 smoothie bars in Hyderabad in the first year to over 130 outlets in 45 plus Indian cities by 2022. Here is feel-good news for beer lovers. According to a study conducted in Portugal, beer is good for health and it doesn't make beer drinkers fat and is beneficial for the intestines. Researchers say that consuming 1 bottle of beer, regardless of its alcohol content, may be beneficial to the gut microbiome and intestinal health of men. However, they add that because the safest level of alcohol consumption is none, non-alcoholic beer may be the more healthy choice. The study also pointed out that the ingestion of beer did not interfere significantly with cardiometabolic biomarkers like glucose, cholesterol, and triglycerides. This is certainly happy news for frothy drink lovers, but please understand that it is after all an alcoholic drink and moderation is the best policy. All is almost set for the unveiling of names of the winners of the Spiritz Selection 2022. The ceremony is being held at the Leela Ambience Hotel, Gurugram on July 16th. You all can watch the awards ceremony live on Spiritz TV on YouTube. I will be back next week with a fresh bulletin and also with some images of the award ceremony for you. Keep watching News This Week, and if you enjoy the bulletin, please like, subscribe, share and press the bell icon. Till then, stay well and say cheers with care.